can be only one podcast, and may it be the Prince of the Universe. Hi, folks. I'm Matt.
And I'm Wes.
Whoa! You're back.
Man, I feel like I need to get in the unemployment line.
It's about time I had some more Y chromosome in my podcast.
Gosh. Too much positivity and just hugging and kissing. And it was like an airport.
It was like watching Trolls, the movie, where they just hug every hour. Candace and Robin.
You said that.
And yeah. I said that during the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. It was very friendly, lovey-dovey. You know, it was princesses of the universe.
It was like putting candy and ice cream together and then snorting it.
No, it was having that cotton candy plus bubble gum ice cream. It's just too much.
It was too fake.
It's
too processed.
I told
nothing
Robin,
in that show was organic.
I told Robin, who, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, Robin and Wes are good friends. But I told Robin what you'd said about your thoughts. She said, "Hey, did Moth like the podcast?" I went, "Yeah." He asked me before he even listened to it. He said, "Did Robin take over the entire conversation?" Mm-hmm. Which called it. Mm-hmm. You called your shot. You made your shot. You called it. Slam dunked it. Now, because of that, that's why she's so quiet on the podcast with her beau, Michael. She got quieter because she heard the comment. Well, so loud and clear.
It's okay to pass the ball.
Not everyone's an Angel Reese grabbing for that rebound.
Yeah, you don't need the get the extra pass in. Make it exciting for everybody.
There you go. It's a team. You're the mid '90s Bulls. Everyone.
Let's facilitate.
Yeah. Let's delegate the who's doing what best, and let's keep it together as a team.
Yes.
Got it. Well, good to have you back. We're going to talk about a topic that we were going to talk about a month ago, because I'd seen the movie back then. You'd seen the movie when it came out. It was Fantastic Four.
Yes.
If anyone doesn't know, it's spoiler time for Fantastic Four. But I
think they're already talking about the sequel by now.
So yeah. If you saw it and everything. So we're going to be spoiling the new Fantastic Four, because there's been two other, if not counting the Roger Corman. Did you ever see the Roger Corman movie?
Yes.
What did you think? I saw it years ago. Back when you could get it on DVD, burn DVD.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, and it was meant to be just a thrifty budget saved. I couldn't believe that those people actually thought they were doing a movie with the sets against a dark background. It looked like a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger episode, yet you thought this was going out in theaters.
Yeah.
You're in a dark room with just set props, and you thought, we're going to be in theaters this year. No, you're not. How did you think that with the sets like that?
I guess understand. You sell yourself on the idea of what you're doing.
And to be honest, they were lied to.
Oh, yeah.
They were sold a bag of goods.
The behind the scenes normally of bad movies is much more exciting than the movie.
That's true. And listening to them talk, and it's sad because they were all excited about making this movie. They were all passionate about it. And yet it turned out to be just a
I think they went to a
fraud.
Comic-Con. I think they were at New York Comic-Con in like 93 or whatever.
Well, now they're infamous, and now the DVD's out everywhere, and I was interested when I first saw it too, and I thought, oof, this is bad. And we knew it was bad.
Sure.
But pretty bad. Then, just backing up, we're going to just recount the other Fantastic Fours real quick. Yeah, the original one, the first one that got its sequel, I like those. I thought those are pretty decent. Captain America plays not Johnny Blaze.
Storm.
The Human Torch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. I thought the characters were really well done. I liked it all. The first one was good. That was the last time I think we saw Thing in a costume. He became CGI Thing after that.
Correct.
And it wasn't bad. Thing in a costume, not bad. I actually enjoyed it. Michael Chiklis, who played the Thing, did a really good job. And I think, in a way, it's probably a little bit better because animation can't bring what an actor can bring in a suit. Does that make sense, or is that me being nostalgic?
No, I think it's a little bit of both. I also think that I don't need to suspend my disbelief to where I feel like I'm being ignorant. And I thought that, having something live action can go a long way versus let's just put paint on top of paint on top of paint and take you out of the moment.
I agree. I agree. So the first one came out was good. The second one came out, and you had the Silver Surfer, which was nice and fun. And then you kept waiting for the coming of the Galactus, which never really came because all you got to see was a shadow or a storm or whatnot. And what a big fart after this big. And you could not figure out how to do a Galactus. I mean, the proper way. You'd have seen Galactus in that movie and had this big blowout budget. Where'd you spend your budget? Keep the Fantastic Four in their room, I guess, for a little bit longer.
Well, just don't do Galactus then.
Or don't do Galactus at all, but you teased him, and then you gave us nothing but a storm cloud.
Yeah, it's rough.
And I think, really, if you would have backed up 20 minutes of that movie and threw a Galactus big battle scene in there, or something like that, I think you would have saved the movie, and it would have gotten a third, would have been a trilogy.
Well, I think maybe, if nothing else, you just show shots of him kind of like how when Thanos was in the, what do you call the cut scenes at the end of the movies?
Oh yeah, the deleted. What?
Well, it's not deleted. It's just like you wait through the movie.
Oh, the stinger.
Yeah, the stinger. Yeah. If they would have done just smaller things with Galactus to tease, maybe it would have been a little bit better. But yeah, when you say this is it, and it just leaves you very
well. The thing is,
unfulfilled.
you were keep building the coming of Galactus, and you didn't deliver. You just said, "Let's
still
go
not
cheap."
here.
Yeah, he's still not here. So that just was not. I think it just built up the crowd's anticipation, and you just gave them nothing.
And then the last one was really terrible.
Yes, I can't remember what his name is. The Josh whatever, Fantastic Four, horrible.
Yeah,
horrible,
it was rough.
Horrible. And the director goes, "Oh, I wish I could see my cut. I don't want to see your cut. I don't see how that could be any better.
Yeah.
It couldn't be better than that. It couldn't be. I mean, I don't think it can be. Maybe it can be worse. Everything can be worse, but
or it can just be a longer version of something that's not good.
You didn't. Your actors were just cardboard. Your storyline was just boring. I mean, everything about that one was just really terribly done.
Yeah.
And so that one kind of got panned. So now we're doing it for the third official rebooted time. And this time, what did you think about the cast?
Thought the casting was good. I thought the thing that I liked most of it was the visual of it. I just thought it looked crisp.
They went for that 60s, these used to be characters back in the olden days. So 60s sci-fi lore. I think they made connections to the MCU. I think Tony Stark's parents were mentioned or stuff like that.
Yeah, I would rather you dial it back and sell me on that.
I like Mole Man. I like how he was an afterthought. We didn't do first off, no origin story. Good for you.
Correct.
That was the first good thing you've done. It's incredible that these days no, Spider-Man did it too, but Spider-Man just kind of give you in the Tom Holland one, just kind of gave you a, hey, here's in the opening credits, here's how Spider-Man became Spider-Man. We don't need another. We've seen several movies where he became Spider-Man, and we spent an hour with regular Peter Parker waiting for him to be Spider-Man toward the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. We don't need that again.
Yeah.
The crowd's smarter on superheroes now. They know that. So we skip the origin. The origin's been done twice already in theaters.
Yeah.
So we don't need to have an origin. We're showing you who they are, and that we fast forward and did some highlights and put Mole Man. Now he's just a beaten. It felt like Mole Man was from a different movie, from a previous movie that we'd missed.
Correct.
But we didn't need to see that movie. All we needed to see was the aftermath and where he was now.
Yeah, it was framework.
Yeah, framework set up the world that they're living in. That I enjoyed. Actors, actresses, everyone in it, fine. I mean, just fine, not bad. I'm not a big fan of the Thing growing a beard all of a sudden. I maybe I can see what they're trying to do, but does the Thing have to shave? How does he shave? With a rock and chisel? I mean, it just doesn't. I don't know. That kind of part was a little bit different, and it was weird because
Agreed.
Thing has the human element, the man wanting to be, the monster wanting to be a man again.
Correct.
Which every movie has harped on. I do believe Michael Chiklis played it best. But in this one, it was kind of like, oh, we have to do the Thing storyline. It was almost like a trope that they had to put in, and they weren't invested in the story, obviously, because he meets the girl, It's very brief. And then later on, oh, it looks like their relationship's going to continue. Great, but I don't care. You never gave me time to care about the thing.
Right.
Now, not that we have to see the whole moping, I used to be a man thing again, but you can develop a little bit. If you're going to go with this love story, do it. But I don't think they really needed it.
I agree.
Okay. Everyone makes a joke that Pedro Pascal is in everything now. But that just, every actor has his year, has his moments. Jim Carrey was in everything. Jack Black was everywhere.
Yeah.
Which just means Pedro Pascal, get used to it. Tick tock, in a few more years you'll be hurting for roles.
I mean, I definitely think that he's been on a good 10-year run.
Yeah.
So
when did his run begin?
Well, I mean, I would say Game of Thrones.
I never watched it, so I never knew he was on there.
Yeah, and then obviously Mandalorian. That was, 2018?
So it's like when George Clooney jumped out of ER and then, boom, was in everything for a little while. And then finally goes down after about a decade, 12 years or so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's got a little bit of time on that. I don't mind that. Everyone makes the joke that Pedro Pascal's in everything. Hey, man, you got the scripts coming? Say yes to everything. Go ahead. Get it while it's hot.
Correct.
I felt everyone was fine in the film. That they went with the baby is fine. I think they teased that in the second movie, that she was pregnant. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Of the original ones, I can't remember. But either way, that's fine. Now baby Franklin's around. We got that going on. Fine. You did that. You put Herbie in there from the old 70s cartoon.
I like that.
I like that. I watched that cartoon back in the day because for people who don't, well, if you listen to the podcast, you know, we did a whole thing on Super Friends, a couple of episodes on Super Friends per season, and that show started way before we were born.
Yeah.
So, but we were still watching those reruns later on because TV just didn't have as much content back then, so they had to borrow heavily from the past. That's why Hanna-Barbera had a huge run over the years. There wasn't that cartoon content.
Well, and you had different networks that would pick up syndicated stuff, and then you'd have cartoon hours for 2 to 3 hours on Monday through Friday and all kinds of good stuff.
And one of those cartoons was the 70s Fantastic Four. I watched that one. And because they could not show now there's an older cartoon that could show the Human Torch because we watched that too, but then later on there was no Human Torch anymore because you can't show a man set on fire because they were afraid a kid was going to be dumb enough to douse himself in gasoline and light himself on fire. I don't know how stupid you thought kids were, but this is the overprotective era of TV censorship and comic book. It was happening in comic books at the same time too. Extreme censorship for kids. And so they had to go with Herbie the robot. And I was so confused. Where as a kid saying, why is he on this? Where's Human Torch?
Right.
Why won't they explain where the Human Torch is right now? Because he's one of the coolest characters. But that they had Herbie in there, nice little wink to old school lore for Fantastic Four. I agree with you on the setting, the whole 60s thing. Great. I don't know what they're going to do and how they're going to explain. Obviously, they're connecting them to the MCU, as we saw in the Stinger to Thunderbolts.
I guess it's just a time frame of different universes are on different.
Maybe.
I mean,
maybe
you don't have to make it perfectly. Shoestring into the hole.
All right. The other big one, the other elephant in the room, so to speak. People talked about the female Silver Surfer.
Well, like you said, there was a time when you felt like kids may light someone on fire because they saw it on a cartoon.
Yep.
We, in the past 10 years, have loosened creative strings to change ethnicities and genders. And I think it's just a byproduct of that.
And once in a comic book, it was a girl. And that's what they're going by. So I would suggest this. If we're going to do this, in the comic book, at one time, Black Panther was a white guy.
Did not.
Okay, so they're not going to do that.
There's a lot of creative liberties.
But I'm saying at one time, if we're going for this, generic, when you think of Silver Surfer, it's a dude.
Correct.
Okay?
Yeah.
I like the actress who played Silver Surfer there.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her storyline, where she came from, different family and everything. I would like to see my male Silver Surfer that I'm so used to seeing. At one time, Thor was a girl. At one time, Captain America. Everyone's been a girl. Every male character, just for a special run, has been a female. Doesn't mean you always have to change it. We need to get more females in here. Well, then go for a female villain. But you wanted to go for Galactus. which, by the way, so Silver Surfer, actress good, story plot good, still wanted a male Silver Surfer. But for what we got, was good.
I was fine with it.
I was fine with it. I was fine with it.
I'm not that grumpy of an old man where I can't suspend some of my belief in this.
I went in with an open mind and I enjoyed it, but still prefer the regular
if I could vote,
Silver
I would
Surfer.
vote, yes.
If I vote, I vote for the male.
Yeah.
But from what we got from the movie, it's fine. Galactus, excellent. I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time I was thinking about it, I was like, man, I hope whoever made that second movie from back in the day is taking notes and realizing, yeah, this is what we should have done. Because getting to see, and they went with the comic book version, not some, let's give him a new movie look over, because those little handles on his head, I don't know, looks like a spark plug or what kind of stupid helmet is that? Let's make it cooler.
Correct.
Let's punch up his wardrobe a little bit. This is the movie version. No, you went for the classic comic book one, and you're going in a classic era of the 60s. It should have matched that look. It should have matched the look, the mannerisms. You felt there was a threat with Galactus. You got to see plenty of him in this one.
Sure.
And it was everything that original second movie should have been. We should have seen all of that stuff. I thought they were very generous with their Galactus scenes. I didn't know how much of Galactus we were going to see.
Yeah.
But I think they learned from the lessons of the past and said, okay, we got to make Galactus bigger and better. I didn't mind it. I thought it was really good. Finale, why he needs Franklin. I believe that's part of the comic book too, lore. I'm not very hip on Fantastic Four. Bruce would have probably known if it was or not, but I'm sure it had something to do with it. It seemed like they made the effort to make some connections to it. Either way, Galactus was good, and the ending was good, and I was fine with that. Your thoughts on that?
To me, what I liked more about it, and I'm kind of compared this movie with watching Superman the same way I watched the Robert Pattinson Batman movie when Spider-Man No Way Home. When I think of those movies, I think of them together, and I think of Superman and Fantastic Four. The downfall for me for Superman, what we talked about, was the CGI is still too cheap, and I never felt like Fantastic Four CGI felt cheap. To me.
No, I agree. No, Galactus looked really good. Silver Surfer looked really good. I agree with that.
Now, granted, a part of the knock from what, try not to get too, swayed in someone's opinion is maybe it was not enough action. But if you read comics, and you read comics from different eras, they do build.
I felt it was fine. I felt there was a fine action. I was happy with what we got.
I think you don't need it. This is where we always put the fight scenes, or we're gonna put the fight scene.
Yeah,
here.
we gotta have one in the middle. We gotta have one at the end for sure.
Bookends
to keep the audience engaged. But if your dialogue is smart, I was watching my brother and I, we were watching Kill Bill. His son, my nephew, came over. Kill Bill 1 and 2. Kill Bill, I don't know if it's been a while since you've seen these. Kill Bill
Long
1,
time.
all action, super fun. Action, because she's going through her way, fighting through the line of people, and every fight's kind of a little bit different. Got the stylistic look for it, the cinematic look, the shots, the way it's shot, and the way the action is sometimes fast-paced or a little bit slower and everything. And then the second movie comes, and it's got probably one action scene. And then there's a lot of talking. But my brother says that's just as good, because if the dialogue's good and the stories are great, like this is the whole...
We need to build.
We need to build. And I don't know if you remember this. This is the Superman speech in Kill Bill 2, where he's just making a sandwich. He is making a sandwich for the little girl and talking to the bride. And he's saying, do you know who Superman is? He had to disguise himself as a human. So how does he see humanity? As weak, bumbling, goofball, So like Superman isn't this great guy, because he said, I need to fit in with the humans. What do they look like? Oh, they're weak, stupid, blah, blah, blah. And, he kind of twisted the whole Clark Kent thing.
Yeah.
But interesting dialogue. It was to prove his point later on about what he needed to do and whatnot. So the dialogue's in there, and you're watching this, and I was watching it because I rewatched with my nephew. I was like, okay, I get what he's saying. I still like the first one because I like all the action.
Yeah.
Of course, we love action.
Yep.
But if you have some solid dialogue, you'd have a pretty good story.
Well, part of why you get big name actors is to let them act.
Yeah.
So Pedro Pascal, regardless if there's too much of him, he is a compelling character in a lot of his movies and shows. I mean, he is a good baby face.
I haven't seen everything with him in it, but the few things I have seen, he's been fine.
Yeah.
The incredible weight of, or the massive weight of incredible talent. I don't know, the guy who's a Nicolas Cage fan and brings the real Nicolas Cage, who plays a caricature of himself.
Yep.
That is a fantastic movie, and Pedro Pascal is the rich crime lord or whatever, drug dealer, and it's wonderful. I absolutely enjoyed that movie.
So I mean, I think that if you're gonna pay this money for actors, it's kind of like Michael Keaton as Batman. Part of why we liked Michael Keaton as Batman was his Bruce Wayne.
And you know what? Speaking of that, I loved The Flash because of the Michael Keaton scenes, and Michael Keaton played it really well.
Yeah.
He fit right. I felt like that was the Batman from the movies, from Tim Burton's movies, not directed by Tim Burton.
Right.
I felt that they did it. They did honor and respect the character, and that Batman had. Because I could have sworn, I told my wife when we sat down to watch, because she wanted to watch it because of Michael Keaton Batman. I was going to say, I told my wife, I said, hey, I'm just going to let you know, you're going to be disappointed. This is back before I'd seen the movie. I said, you're going to be disappointed because I can already tell you it's not going to feel the same. They're going to change the character, make him broken down, and the Flash is going to show him he can be a hero again. He gave up on crime.
Yeah,
then they went the exact opposite route. No. He defeated crime. There's no crime in Gotham. He retired.
And I thought that he played Reed Richards as kind of, he looked at life and his son scientifically, and you had the pull of Sue being, motherly, and how can you look at it this way? And like, I thought all that was, hell, you're a parent, you're married. I mean, we all look at things a little differently. So I liked all of it. I thought, I hate that it didn't do as well. Obviously, it was not the...
Marvel has tarnished their own name.
Well, I don't know what's going to do well enough to catch back up. I think
that's true too.
I think it's
sad,
over.
but you fast forward and you bring out Fantastic Four about 6-7 years earlier, and it makes tons of money.
This version, yes.
Yes, this exact same movie, not even changed. But the thing was, there were so many just outright garbage that was coming out that why bother? And now, like myself, I'd rather just wait till it comes out streaming.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't worth the money when I went to go see the last one or the last two.
Yeah.
And I thought, why am I wasting money on these? These are not that good anymore. And sadly, a good one comes, like this Fantastic Four, and then no one wants to see it. And now it's really bad, but COVID just kind of put us in this mentality of why go right now? I don't have to go to every week. Remember, every weekend, what's coming out? That was the one thing we always knew. I have no idea what movie comes out next week.
Yeah, I don't know how to for that to ever catch back up to what it is. And I think that if we let people act more, maybe that's where you make your money back. You let actors act and tell a story and make your CGI just really, really good, but not so much of it. Yeah. Like, you don't need to digitize the actor's hair. Like, come on, guys.
No.
This is a bit much.
But it's sad because the movie theater is going to be impacted by these poor slop movies that they're just being churned out at a massive rate. The story is not being cared for, and then it damages the franchise, and then you're not going to see anyone else.
Like the music business ate itself. When you can blame it on streaming, but if you have so many artists putting out subpar material that's so, eventually people won't buy it. They'll look for another way to get it, and we've done that with movies and
And we're retreading on a topic we've talked about in the past, but just to say this, the thing for me that's so exciting to go to the movie theater is these re-releases. The movies that I missed back in the 80s because my mom wasn't going to take me to a movie theater back then. Now you can watch it on streaming, but and if you look at some of the box office receipts, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one of the top grossing ones, beat out a lot of the new stuff. It did so well they brought it out. They kept it for a second week, and now there's plans to release the second one for its anniversary. So, but it's embarrassing that and Jaws, the 50th anniversary, I think that won the weekend, beating out 2 new movies. Yikes! We want to see a movie that was 50 years old rather than watch your pig slop.
Well, you want to feel like what it felt to somebody else because it was such a big deal, and now. It's just a whole different way to consume the media.
Yeah.
But I thought Fantastic Four was a good step in the right direction. I just don't know how much. There's so much going on with where you feel like Marvel is going to be. And it takes so long to put these movies out.
That's the thing. It takes way too long. And attention spans are just too short now.
I just think the longer you take, the less you're going to get back.
Yep. People will move on to the next best thing. It's always been that way, and they haven't figured it out.
Yep.
The other thing I want to talk about real quick, speaking about stingers, there is a stinger in Fantastic Four. Sue Storm comes in to find Franklin talking to a faceless Dr. Doom, which is obviously going to be Robert Downey Jr. Kind of surprised why they didn't just put him in there. Maybe they didn't have the time to film it, but we already knew as this film was being made that he had been revealed as Dr. Doom.
I like the fact they didn't show his face.
Okay, I think it would have been more exciting to see him in one stinger. He doesn't have to talk. He just has to look at him with the Dr. Doom helmet in his hand or whatnot.
Yeah.
And that gets people more excited than just seeing what was obviously a stand-in holding the mask. Because at this point, we're not, what was it called? Marks. What's the wrestling terminology for
a
smart fan?
A
smart fan is a what? What was the terminology?
Well,
a mark is
a mark is someone that buys into everything, but you're so invested. There's different ways of saying a mark. So
okay.
I think.
Well, I don't know what I'm trying to find.
Smart mark is
the smart mark. Okay, so a smart mark is going to say, well, that's just a guy in a stand-in suit.
Yeah.
That's not the real thing. Where if it's Robert Downey Jr., you're like, ooh.
Right.
And that kind of piques your interest toward whatever Avengers Doomsday or whatever they're going for next. But I think they missed the boat on that. That you can't tell me you couldn't have got him because those scenes are easy to film in one day.
Well, I agree. If I liked it, but it doesn't mean that it would not have been better. But maybe
no. I'm not saying it wouldn't have made the movie better. I'm just saying the stinger. I'm
I
taking
agree.
away
The
from
stinger
the movie.
would have been
the stinger would have been way better because everyone in the theater went, "Oh, well, that's not him. That's a stand-in." No, I mean, it's Dr. Doom, but it would have been really nice to see the actor. You've done this before. You've had big actors come in and do that role real quick. He doesn't have to talk at all. We don't have to hear him speak, but that would just get you, like you said, to how can we keep blow on the embers. That is what's left of the MCU and revive it into a little flame to get people excited again to go to theaters to go see it. And I think you need to shoot big. And you say, Robert Downey Jr., how much for a day's work? All you have to do is stare at the camera for a few seconds and we're done.
Yeah.
That's really all they need.
Kind of like when they did the Michelle Pfeiffer stand-in at Batman Returns when she looks up at the bat signal, but they didn't really have her. And
really awesome.
Yeah.
Really awesome. Love to see that. I don't know. I just feel. Did you ever read the sequel book to that one?
No, but you and the librarian discussed.
And now there's another one coming out soon. I think in October that I need to read too. But I
read the Batman '89 comics and then the follow-up that took like 2 years to come out.
Oh my goodness!
Talk about losing interest again. Yeah. It's like Image Comics all over again. We got a great idea we can't execute.
It's terrible. But anyway, folks, all right, that's our thoughts on Fantastic Four. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the movie, and we will see you next time on Princes of the Universe.